Good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to Coyle and Cassidy High School in Taunton, home of the Lady Warriors, where the Diamond Lady Bengals are visiting for the South D4 Round 1 game here in the MIAA State Tournament. Tip-off goes to the Warriors. Evan Massoud and Zach Souza with you here on Fred TV. Great to be here. Third straight game this week. Boy, we have been busy, but that's playoff life, if you will. And the scoring begins with Rachel Johnson, number 5, putting it down for 2. And we're going to have our first foul of the game.
Barely.
And the foul's on the Warriors. It's on Kaylee Haynes. So first one, it was on the floor. Maya Parker going for 3, not her usual bread and butter, if you will. That was a good feed underneath to Samantha Hourahan for 2, and it's a quick 4-0 lead for the home team. Going to be a tough matchup, I think, tonight, Zach, for Diamond. I mean, Diamond had a good season, but Coyle pretty far up in the bracket as Teixeira puts up a 3. That was no good. We look at the bracket and the seeding here. Coyle is the 4th seed out of 17 teams. Diamond is the 13th seed.
Yeah, Coyle just looks to be a lot different right now coming out of the gates into this game so far.
They definitely have the height advantage, which I think could, prove beneficial. We saw that the height advantage definitely helped Old Colony against the Diamond boys in the playoff game yesterday that I was at, and boy, they were overmatched in terms of height. They got boxed out every time, and we'll see if that ends up happening here as Johnson puts it down for 2. She has 4. Coyle at 17-3, and Diamond at 12-8 here in the bracket. So a 6-0 lead here for the Lady Warriors to begin things. That is Wileshka Melendez-Hernandez, who got the pass from Unique Horsley. Diamond trying to put it up, cannot, and a jump ball as Selena Mendez went down to the ground, forcing the jump ball, and because the Warriors started with possession, Zach, Diamond gets the ball here on the jump ball. Good feed to Parker, cannot put it up though, falling away from the basket. Drive the ball loose. Warriors get it back, though, and a foul. First foul for the Bengals, and it is on Unique Horsley. So 2 shots for Hourahan. And the first one good. And I'm kind of sensing that with the quick now 7-0 lead, we may see a timeout soon from the Bengals.
Yeah, I think one's definitely necessary to kind of reset your offense, get your team back going in the right way, because if you just keep letting it go like this, it's only going to get worse.
And the rebound went to Leonard. And another jump ball. While we have a quick second, we'll run down the starters so everybody knows who's going here as the Bengals do call timeout. For the Diamond Bengals, we have number 20, Selena Mendez. Number 24, Captain Maya Parker. We have number 25, Wileshka Melendez-Hernandez. Number 32, Captain Unique Horsley. And number 41, Mackenzie Teixeira. And the Bengals are led by head coach Shane Doyle. For the home team Warriors, number 5, Rachel Johnson. Number 13, Kaylee Haynes. Number 23, Stacy Leonard. Number 24, Samantha Hourahan. And number 41, Cassidy Fields. And the Warriors are led by Mike O'Brien. So there are your starters for both sides here. We have 5:39 on the clock, so good time here to hear from the MIAA. A well-rounded education is one that is not only academically oriented, but one that also includes physical, social, and emotional development. Interscholastic athletics provide the other half of education. The MIAA encourages you to support your local high school athletic teams throughout the school year. And the Warriors are going to have it with 25 seconds on their shot clock. They inbound it to Johnson. Johnson fakes the three. Parker on her. They get it to Fields in the corner. Back out to Johnson. Now to the near side here to Haynes. Gets it to Leonard, who put it up, no good. But on the backside there for the putback is Fields. And the lead swells to 9. So a tough start for Diman right now, getting a little overmatched here. A couple missed baskets down the other end, and the Warriors really haven't missed. Parker trying to find a lane, has to slow up, gets it out to Texera. Now to the corner, and is it kept in? It is not. Just barely out of reach there from Melendez-Hernandez. It was thrown like to her backside almost. She had to kind of spin and run for it. So Warriors take over, and it's Haynes getting it to Johnson. Now to the corner for 3, and it's long. That was Hurahan. Unique Horsley with the rebound gets it to Parker, who's not been able to get right to the hoop yet tonight, and that's her sweet spot, and that is a miss as well.
Yeah, the Warriors are really shutting down the paint right now. She's trying to drive in, but she's not getting anywhere because the way they're closing it in on her.
Yeah, and the thing, we've seen Parker enough times, she likes to get to the right side of the basket and put the layup on. She hasn't been able to get comfortable. Her 2 opportunities, she was coming from the left. She wasn't being it, just like here, too. The formation, the way it's set up. That one is going to go down, but she really, when we see her break, she's got the time. She likes going to the right side. So if she can kind of get around to her better side, if you will, that's going to help. All alone, a foul will put Fields at the line for 2.
Right, and I think the Diman defense needs to step up so that she can get to the basket easier, because if she can get down there before the defense sets up, it'll give her a better chance of getting right to the basket because they won't be shutting down the paint.
Yeah, we all know how fast Maya is. I mean, again, we touched on this, a soccer player in the fall, so you get all that base, that stamina built up, and then you come on this, little wooden court here, and it's like running, a 100-meter dash. It's nothing.
Yeah.
So 2 free throws good, and it is 13-2. And we're going to redo the inbounding pass. Parker trying to get free. They get the bouncer to her. So 13-2 halfway through the first quarter. Parker finding a lane, lost it right into the hands of Hurahan. Stopping in her tracks is Haynes right at the arc. Gonna go into the paint, put it up, no good. Melendez-Hernandez with the rebound. She's trying to find a seam. Might have been a little contact there, but she puts up a shot that doesn't go down. So the Warriors quickly down the other end, and good for 2. Fields with 6 points. Foul on Leonard. Thought we might have had Parker going out of bounds. I actually thought that's what it was going to be initially, and it ended up being a block. So a second team foul for the Warriors. And while we wait for the inbound here, just want to say a quick thanks to the Warriors athletic department for giving us some space to be able to bring you this game. Always appreciate it when we have to travel, that the teams that we visit, the schools we visit, when they're able to accommodate us, always appreciate that. So Johnson picks up her first foul, back-to-back fouls for the Warriors. Both are, or actually all 3 have been on the court. They have not been to the basket. So the Bengals just get the reset shot clock. Parker can't get it down, much to the chagrin of Coach Doyle. Jumper is good for Johnson, who also now has a half dozen.
They're just hitting everything right now. Everything they're putting up is going down.
They sure are. 17-2 here to start the ball game. The Warriors padding a big early lead. Parker puts up a 3. Coming in out of nowhere was Mendez, and that was a big one there because the ball was very long. That was a long 3. Parker had a little bit, actually too much behind it, believe it or not. Stripped, ooh, and Parker's going to get called on the foul. So Maya picks up her first foul of the night. It is the 3rd for Diman. And Leonard inbounds it. Fed underneath, and unable to handle it is Jenna Piatelli, the captain, who came in off the bench here, number 44. And we just saw another sub as well. Hannah Perez coming in for Parker. So Parker taking a break here in the first. Horsley, I've seen her hit a couple downtown shots in the few games we covered this regular season. Another bad pass from Texera. And unable to handle it was Melendez Hernandez. Get it to Fields now to Piatelli, and she could not put it up. Had a good look as well, right underneath. Horsley with a bad pass, and it's picked off by Oyigbo. Chica Oyigbo for two.
Coyle Cassidy is just really taking control of this game right now. The defense is incredible right now. Their offense is flowing. They're really just taking over the first quarter.
Yeah, and this is, a home court advantage, if you will, for them, and obviously because they're a timeout for Coach Doyle. Wasn't quite sure. I didn't see the initial call from the official. It was just kind of dead silence.
Just sort of happened.
I know, exactly. But anytime that you're the home team in the playoffs, it's always a bigger advantage. But right now, we're seeing, and I think it's, Coyle, they're a big team. And they're completely owning the paint on both sides of the court, as you said.
Yeah, they are a big team. A lot of height on their team. I said it when we were walking in. I looked up at one of the girls, and she was taller than I was, and I'm 6'1.5". So they definitely got the height advantage on the Bengals.
And they have the lead advantage as well. It's a 15-point lead here with 89 seconds to play in the first quarter. I think if you're the Bengals right now, the biggest thing would be if they can get, I don't think it's asking too much, if they can, maybe change up some of the matchups. Last night with the boys game, I know you didn't come on that road trip. I had Jake Fitzgerald working with me. But that game was just really the height advantage and just the control of the game, the flow of the game. Old Colony, they had it going on. And that's kind of what we're seeing here right now from Coyle. Kind of the same thing. Loose ball, and the Warriors come away with it. But what I was going to say is if Diamond can put together a good last minute and a half or so here, maybe get 2 baskets, make it a 10-point game if you can, something like that. That gives you a little confidence going into the second quarter.
Yeah, you definitely want to cut the lead right now if you're Diamond. You don't want to be this far behind too much longer.
It's going to be Warriors ball. There was a jump ball, and they were the recipients this time. Oh, what a move by Piatelli. She's going to go to the line on the miss. She's going to take 2 shots. One of the things with basketball, as Mendez picks up her second personal foul, one of the things with basketball, a lot of times it's, with many sports with this constant motion, it's individual matchups that coaches look at. And, these two teams have not seen each other this season. Old Colony and Diamond for the boys, they saw each other twice in the regular season. So a little different than this. But, coach for the Cougars told me yesterday, he said, we looked at the tape and it's going to be a game of matchups. We got to have our players out there when certain players for Diamond are out there and vice versa. And that Coach Santos for Diamond was doing the same. Well, we could say the same thing about this game too. Maybe some of the matchups are a little mismatched, and we might see some changes on that as the game goes on. Parker got her own rebound, flips it out to Perez. Got it back to Parker, trying to go baseline, gets it now out to Texera. She puts up the jumper. It does not fall. Piatelli on the rebound. And Parker did her best to get under the basket. She was met by 3 Warriors on that last exchange. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Kurtzer with it, getting it to the near side here to Oyigbo. Out to Kurtzer for three, and it is no good. Piatelli comes flying in for the rebound. Can't put up the second chance effort. Texera comes away with it. Man, she came flying in. Parker can't get that one to fall. She goes sliding down on the backcourt there. 3 seconds, and they get it to Toll. It's flicked out of bounds and goes backstage. Nope, right. Actually, just in front of the curtain it goes.
Yeah, Piatelli on that rebound came from just the other side of the paint to
Yeah.
the other. She went one block to the other. That was incredible.
1.1 seconds on the clock. Clock didn't even start. There should have been at least a couple of ticks there.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking split second, but when it's 1.1, it is a split second. So I would say 0.9, 0.8.
Roughly, yeah.
Maybe 3/10, 2/10 off of that. I mean, it was just a flick out of bounds, but, you know, there's definitely, there was a second or a split second of game time. We're going to get the call here.
Oh, 0.6.
Well, I mean, really, it's a
Tap, tap.
It's
Yeah,
an
that's
instant-
not much.
holy cow, they still get the buzzer beater. Man, oh man, Cunningham puts it in, and it's all happy days for the Warriors. I know you won't get the reference, probably. It's all right. It's an old show. Zach.
Yeah, I know Happy
You got
Days,
it?
yeah.
Oh, all right. You got it. That is awesome.
Hey.
Jeez. Oh, that's just so great. I really didn't think you were going to get that. Man, oh, man. These kids surprise me every day, folks. These kids surprise me every day. Man,
Monday,
oh, man.
Tuesday, Happy Days.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so cool. I used to love the intro. That you see the the old vinyl
Yep.
spinning. I used to love it. I thought that was so creative that the vinyl spins into the picture and then it goes back. Seriously. Kind of like Gilligan too. Gilligan's Island, the same thing. The big wheel for the bow, and same type of intro. I don't know if you know Gilligan's Island, but
No.
no, that one no.
Well, I know of it, but not enough to have a discussion with you.
That's all right. Well, we're done with one, and it is a big lead for the Warriors. They're up by 19 here in the South Division IV Round 1 game at Coyle and Cassidy between the Bengals of Diman and the Warriors in the MIAA State Tournament here on Fred TV. More than 200,000 students will participate in approximately 100,000 high school sport competitions in the MIAA's 360 member schools this year. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association encourages you to support your local high school athletic programs and the students who participate in them. And the Bengals, unfortunately, come up empty on that trip as well, and the Warriors keep adding to their total. Hurahan now has 5. Evan Massud and Zach Souza with you here on Fred TV Channel 9. Thanks for tuning in tonight. The Warriors had 7 players in the book with points in that first quarter, which also shows you, Zach, that they're really spreading the offense around and they're getting production from multiple players. So if someone is covered up, someone else is going to be able to contribute.
Right, it wasn't a one-girl show in the first quarter. It was definitely a full team effort, and that's why they got out to such an early, quick lead.
Going to the corner to Hurahan. Now out towards us to Leonard, who's back in. Hurahan in the paint. A free throw jumper is good for 2. And she now has 7 points. She is the game high, surpassing Johnson and Fields, who both have 6 apiece, and it's 27-4. Parker trying to get by Johnson, not having much luck, going out to the arc. Texera, this would be for 2, and it doesn't fall. I wonder if there's like a magnetic field or something around that basket, because the Bengals not getting any lucky breaks either. They're definitely hitting the rim. They've done it more than enough times, and it's just not falling.
Yeah, it's been the story of the night so far for them. The shots that they are getting just aren't falling for them.
Yeah, any open shots, they're either off the mark or they just don't want to fall, bouncing off the rim. I mean, easily there's a good 8 points that could have gone, you know, Diamond's way that just didn't fall. That one not quite high enough, and Johnson boxes out nicely to get that rebound. Parker jars it loose for a moment, but Johnson finds Hurahan, who draws the foul and will take 2 shots. Foul was on Texera, her first. 15 foul. Did you see that ball stop spinning? It's like someone hit the brakes on it. That was wild. Had good backspin, then it hit the rim and it like turned into a knuckleball. Seriously, that's pretty cool. This is Hurahan's second trip to the free throw line. She was 1 for 2 the first time. Hits the first one here, trying to go 2 for 2. And she does that time, nothing but net. And she's having a nice second quarter. 6 points for her in the second quarter, all 6 that belong to the Warriors in the first 2 minutes here. No good on the basket there. Fields finding Hurahan. Hurahan had contact, and now the whistle for the foul. And she's going back to the line yet again. And Texera gets hit with her second straight foul. It's a 25-point lead right now for the Warriors as they continue to pull away here in the first half. At one point, it was 19-4. So at least from that benchmark forward, they're into double digits on a run here. $11 points. 11 points for Hurahan. 8 this quarter. Horsley with the ball. Going to go out to Mendez. Back to Horsley. Parker, goes tumbling down. She is fouled, but definitely went down hard. The foul is on Fields. Her first, 4th team foul for the Warriors. 2 shots for Parker. And does not go. Both free throws no good for Maya Parker. The Bengals come up empty. Johnson out to Leonard, now to Hurahan, who's been the go-to girl here in the second quarter. Gets the rebound back. And a travel. This is the first pressure of the night for the Bengals, forcing the turnover.
Yeah, right there it worked in their favor, but so many rebounds that Coyle Cassidy is coming down with throughout the game.
And again, I think it's the height advantage that's certainly helping them. You know, anytime you're a couple inches above your opponent, you can box them out. You just got to use the height. I mean, it's kind of, look at football. It's kind of like when Brady targets Gronk, right? No one can defend him.
No.
Because he's huge. So it's the same kind of thing. There was some contact there, but no foul. Must have been all ball. I mean, we're down the other end of the court here. One of the rare misses for the Warriors. But it's the same principle like for football fans. When you have a target like Gronk, of course you go to him because he's taller than everybody. Well, the rebounding here, it's the same thing. The height advantage, big time. A foul on Hope DeRoe. Offensive foul, turns the ball over. It's the 7th team foul, and it's going to be a 1-and-1. Or it should be a 1-and-1. I'm sorry, it's not offensive foul. Not a 1-and-1. My bad. Had a lot of basketball the last couple days. Johnson wants 3. That's going to be wide to the right. And nice job trying to go, drawing the ball loose. Goes out of play. And Warriors ball. Thought for a second Mendez was going to have that rebound. She had a good handle on it. Diamond can't catch a break. 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. 4 minutes to go before halftime. Parker with her hand. Johnson thought about 3 again. Ooh, that was close to a foul. Probably should have been. I heard
contact.
Yeah. That was put back. Horsley to Mendez. To Melendez-Hernandez, who loses it. Going to get the feed to Fields. Fields going to the basket. Horsley jarred that one loose. Fields wanted the foul. So did the crowd. They didn't get it, but it's still white ball. That one off the front of the rim. And a jump ball. And I think we're seeing a little bit of frustration start to show up here. And, I mean, rightly so. It's been a rough first half, obviously, for the Bengals.
Yeah, I think they really need to start working through Parker, getting her to get to the lane, set screens for her, let her use her speed to get to the basket.
Problem is she's got to get there, and they're really playing a stingy defense right now. The Warriors are. I mean, I'd say it's basically a man coverage because a man-to-man defense. Parker, here we go, trying to dribbles out of it, but look at double coverage, so she's got to take the jumper. It's no good. At this point, I would have liked to see her charge the lane, draw the foul as Haynes takes it the other direction for the open shot. I know she had 2, she was 1-on-2 there, but in that instance, when you're the smaller one and you're the single one, probably going to get the foul in your favor. Bad pass from Parker, throws it away.
Now they're just not even playing defense. They've just given up.
Yeah, and that's not good.
Lazy pass, not getting back on defense. So
there's a lot of basketball to be played here. Doesn't matter what the score is.
Nope.
As Fields put that one in for 2. So a timeout here. I mean, obviously, we know the deficit. It's not good, but this is where you got to keep your chin up and keep battling, During the timeout here, I see Coach Doyle working with the girls from the MIAA here. High school sports provide an extension of the classroom where students learn to pursue excellence, the value of working with others toward a common goal, playing within the structure of established rules, discipline, loyalty, and emotional control. The MIAA urges you to demonstrate your support for these values and for our young people by attending high school competitions in your community. So 2:12 to play here in the first half, and the Bengals are still in search of their first points here in the second quarter. And they're down 37-4. So they've been outscored 14-0 here in the second, and going back to the first, the Warriors are on an 18-0 run. Get it to Texera. Hope to row into the game. Perez into the game right now. Now there's Horsley going across, looking for 3. Texera banks it in. That breaks the run there, and hopefully that's a bit of a spark for the team. That's the first 3 from either side. Out to Toll. That's for 3.
That's the lucky bounce.
Yeah, I know, right? Warriors up to 40 points here in the first half. 90 seconds to play in the half.
I mean, it's just incredible how hot they are right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of games over the last 6 seasons, and this has been as hot as I've ever seen one team,
right?
Or as one-sided as I've ever seen one basketball game in a first half. It's really been all Warriors here in the first half. Piatelli gets the jumper. I'll be honest, her feet kind of skipped a little bit there. I thought maybe if you're searching for something, you might have gotten a travel call there, but no whistle. There was a little shuffle. You could hear the shoes squeaking. All the way across to Texera. Quickly met, though, by the defenders. Now back to Horsley. Horsley trying to loft it. Gets the foul and almost the basket. 5th team foul for the Warriors. And it's the first on Pabst, number 3, who's in off the bench. So Horsley at the line for 2. And the first one, no good. So second trip to the line for the Bengals in the game, and so far 0 for 3. Horsley trying to hit this last one, cannot. And Pabst tips it out to Toll for the rebound. Down the court they go. They get Oyigbu.
You gotta hit your free throws. They're big shots. Not saying it wouldn't do much. It's not the difference maker in the game, but it would be a help if they could start hitting some.
Yeah, you're right. With the lead the way it is, it's not like those are championship, say, free throws. Right. But it does, again, it gets you some points and helps get you feeling good as an offense.
Yeah, it brings the confidence up seeing the ball go through the basket.
Not wasting time, going for the jumper, and Texera's there. No foul. DeRoe trying to put it up, and a jump ball. Now, see, for me, when we see a jump ball like that, where you have the offensive player trying to move the ball and they're getting yanked in the other direction, to me, that's more of a foul than a jump ball.
Yeah, I agree with you
I
on
understand
that.
There's no physical contact, but a jump ball is when they're both holding onto it.
They're tied up.
You have a player that's still in the motion of trying to take a shot. She ran into the defender, first of all, so they're screening her. I think that's a foul. But number 2, she's getting yanked around trying to make her move, and the other player's got their hand on the ball, so it's a jump ball. That I don't see. I feel like there's a little bit of – there needs to be some clarity on that because it's the same thing when you're on the ground and you get called for a travel and you're not moving. You're on the ground, body laying flatlined on the ground,
no, it's
and
true.
You're not moving. You get called for a travel because you're trying to shove the ball to your teammate. It's kind of the same thing.
Right.
So I'm not so sure. I think there's a couple things there with the rules, and, you know, I'll be the first to admit, I never played basketball. So, you know, when you're on the court, you understand the rules a little different than when you're just as a fan or someone who watches the game and someone who commentates on the game. So maybe there are little things I miss on there too, but at least from what I see in this seat, there's some clarification I think that needs to be made on those rules and those calls.
Yeah, especially one like that. She clearly looked like she was either going up for the shot or trying to get the ball out to make the pass. So I think there's got to be a foul call, and I don't really agree with the jump ball on that.
All right, needless to say, the Bengals really with a first half that we know they were not hoping for. They trail by a lot right now. 35 points is the deficit. It is 42-7 in favor of the Warriors. We'll have the second half next on Fred TV. Stick around. We are back. The Warriors gym here at Coyle and Cassidy High School in Taunton. Evan Massoud and Zach Souza with you on Fred TV for the MIAA State Tournament. South D4 round 1 game between the Diamond Lady Bengals and the Coyle and Cassidy Lady Warriors. You see the score at the bottom of your screen. It's been a very rough first half for the Diamond girls. Got to try to figure out this tough Warriors defense and try to get a few points. Unfortunately, a steal to start things off. Kurtzer to the basket. Oh, it falls off, and maybe the Bengals with a little bit of a break there to not have that one go because the Warriors basically hit everything and anything in that first half.
Yeah, they were just putting up shots, and it was unbelievable. Everything they were putting up seemed to be falling, and if it didn't fall, it looked like it was going to fall. Nothing really looked bad.
Bad pass that went to Fields. Now Hurahan gets it to Johnson, who was fouled. Johnson going to go to the line. It's, yeah, you know, this kind of reminds me in terms of like one-sided. I've never seen a one-sided basketball game such as this. But this kind of makes me think of, you know, some of the, when Durfee football was on that losing streak, you know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, where they had lost like 28 in a row or 27 in a row, and there were some really ugly losses there. Like, you know, I remember one game was against Brockton in pouring rain. It was a 59-0 loss. It was just, you know, and it's like, where do you find positives in a game like that? And, you know, for the Bengals, I mean, they're going up against a team here that is clearly overmatching them in terms of size, and it's definitely hurting the game plan that the Bengals came out with, because we haven't seen too many bad passes or too many bad decisions for Diman. They just look at the height advantage here underneath. Mendez gets that down for 2. But, I mean, Melendez-Hernandez there was just looking up at 2 players whose hands are going 1.5 feet above her head. How can you get anything going offensively when you're going up against a defense like that?
Nothing you can do. 1, because you're not going to be able to pass it over them as easily. 2, because you probably can't see much that's outside of them. So it's tough to deal with the height advantage that's this much.
You know, we're talking about, and I mean, I've actually never seen Coyle. We've never been to this gym. That's for 3, no good. Mendez gets the rebound. Bounce on the floor and no good. You and I were talking a half, and I think that, you know, the MIAA, there's a lot of divisions. They realign certain divisions each year, and that was all too easy for Hurahan, who now has 15 points. She's the game's leading scorer. You know, the divisions, for the most part, at least from my understanding of it, are determined based on the size of your school. Well, Coyle is obviously a smaller school, kind of like a Conley or a Diman. They're not huge, but they're not, you know, they're not a big school. I should say they're not very small, but they're not a big school at all. So they fall into that lower population category. So that's, I think, partly why they're Division 4. They're playing like a Division 3 team here. And I can say that because we've seen some of the Division 4 teams in the Mayflower, and even last year, some of the Division 4 teams through the playoffs and stuff. And this team, at least this year, this team is playing like a Division 3 team. I would like to see them play some Division 3 schools and get bumped up, because it's clearly an overmatch here.
Yeah, it's. I don't really care about the size of the school. If you're blowing out another playoff team that is in your division like this, you don't belong in that division.
No.
It's.
I mean, you know, I think some people could say that. I think some people could have made that argument for the Conley boys when they won their championship, because they were blowing teams out left and right. But that was all regular season. And, you know, the playoffs that season, not every game was a blowout. I mean, and look at the final.
Yeah.
The finals was not a blowout. You know, they played the number 1 seed the other side, the winners of the North, Linfield, and that was not a blowout game at all. They had to work for that win. There were some good blowouts, I'll tell you. I saw some games that were major blowouts that season. But this is, that is for 3 and good from Leonard, who is, she is in the books with the 3. It's 50-9. But, I mean, and, you know, look at Durfee. Durfee's Division 1 for basketball, but we have to play, or we do play, more Division 2 than we do Division 1 in the regular season. And then you come to the playoffs, and now we're playing down, and then you kind of get overmatched in the playoffs. So it's kind of the same thing. Honestly, I almost feel like some of the sports for Durfee, regardless of the size of school, I think it should be determined on how you do in a division, whether you get to stay in that division or not, or you get bumped up, or you get moved down for a year to see if there's a need to move around. See, I don't know if Division 2 would be too easy for Durfee. You know, I mean, at least in playoff-wise. Again, we played Dartmouth, their Division 2. You play Somerset, Somerset's Division II. So, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be some give and take there. Another 3 is no good. And I don't think that the division should necessarily just be based on size of school. I guess that's really kind of the point.
Yeah, because the size of your school doesn't determine how talented your sports team is going to be and how well they'll perform. No. So it definitely should be based off record and performance-wise.
Yeah, I mean, look, with all due respect, I'm using this as an example and only as an example. 2 years in a row, the Hilltoppers opened up the football season against Conley. Called it the Battle on Ellsbury Street, right? That first game, Conley beat Durfee. Conley was Division VI football. Beat Durfee. Now, granted, that was Hilltoppers were trying to get out of that funk, but still, it's just, I'm not saying Durfee should be Division VI because anything can happen.
Right.
But you see my point, right? So anybody can beat anybody at any time.
Yeah.
This is not just getting beat. This is a clear overmatch, in my opinion. And that's nothing against Diman in any way. We've seen the Lady Bengals play some great basketball this season. And I don't think it's a matter of them not playing great basketball. I think that they're overmatched here tonight. The corner, another 3. They're giving just the 2. And that was Cunningham for 2. So she was just inside the line. Tough to, as you know, tough to see the lines here. I'm sure you folks can see the camera angles. We are right on the court. This is a very intimate setting here. There's an example of the height there. Melendez-Hernandez couldn't get it over the defense to the basket because of the height. Leonard for 3, her second from downtown this quarter.
Much like the first half, they're just coming out again on fire, hitting just about everything they've taken.
It's 55-11 after that 3. 2.5 to play in the third quarter. Parker gets it to Melendez-Hernandez. Now to Mendez. Mendez has it tipped away by Kurtzer and goes as a turnover and a steal, basically. Leonard to Cunningham, out to Toll. That's for 3. No good. Mendez with the rebound. Parker puts up a 3. It was blocked. There was definitely contact there on the way up. The ball was blocked. So Texera gets the inbound as it went out off of the Warriors. Horsley receives the inbounding pass to Mendez, now out to Texera. Texera has one from downtown. That was in the second. Going for one here. That was long. Horsley trying to get there, and she gets body checked by Piatelli, and there's no foul there. Parker seals it back, and will go down the other end here again. Parker, nice move to the basket, and can't get it to fall.
I mean, there's got to be some call there. She just completely got body checked.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be something.
And I think Parker got hit in the eye on her way up there too, because you see her touching her eye and she's kind of shaking her head. She went right towards the end of the bench near where the trainer is. So I think she might have gotten hit too, which should have resulted in a foul. And that's a miss. Piatelli with the rebound. 90 seconds to play. Leonard was breaking. They go back out to Kurtzer. Now back to Leonard in the corner. Cunningham with the jumper. Good. Horsley slowing things up here. Kind of let the offense reset with 60 seconds to play in the third. And we got ourselves a foul on the Warriors. It is the second foul of the night on Leonard. First team foul here in the second half for the Warriors. Exactly 60 seconds to play in the third. Quick inbound to Mendez is fouled and can't get it to fall. Again, nothing is falling for the Bengals. They're just not getting the lucky break. We have seen at least a half dozen of those balls that fall right off the rim that on a good night when things are going your way, those you can't do anything to stop them from going in. Tonight, they don't want to fall. So Mendez at the line, first time to the line for her. And the first one, no good. Second one good, though. Mendez up to 5 points on the night. Leonard to Piatelli. Out to the far side. That was put up by Kurtzer. Bengals come away with it. Melendez-Hernandez going to the basket, and she is fouled. Kurtzer picks up her first foul, second team foul. And Melendez-Hernandez will take 2. She's still looking for her first points. And the first shot, no good. So the Bengals, unfortunately, even at the line, having trouble, just 1 for 7. They've missed 6. Both shots not good there for Melendez-Hernandez. Kurtzer going around Perez, loses it. Piatelli is there. Leonard with a quick pass to Toll. Back to Leonard it goes with less than 30 to play in the third. Paps out to Toll, now to Piatelli. 10 on the shot clock. They have Leonard in the corner. Find Piatelli breaking, and they throw it away. Perez coming out of it for the Bengals. Slows up, loses it. 10 seconds to play in the third, and the Warriors have it. Leonard to Piatelli. Stops, gets it to Paps, puts up the jumper, banks it in off the glass.
Wow. Banking it off the glass from the corner, you know. My best guess is she didn't plan to do that.
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
So 17 points in the third quarter for the Warriors. They up their lead to 59-12 after 3. They put up 23 in the first, 19 in the second, and now 17 here in the third. The winner of this game here, the score remains the same here. Of course, it is a lopsided score, so I think the odds of Coyle and Cassidy moving on are pretty high here. But again, you know, play to the end. We never announce anything prematurely here, but we can say right now Old Colony and Sacred Heart are playing at Old Colony. So the Cougars down there in Rochester getting to host back-to-back games, the boys last night and now the girls tonight. So whoever wins that game, Old Colony is the 5 seed, Sacred Heart is the 12 seed. So whoever wins that game will face off against, we're expecting, Coyle, based on the way the scoring is and how the game has gone here. So that would be the South D4 quarterfinal game. So that's how D4 is looking at the moment. Fourth quarter begins here. Ball goes out of play. Diman will have it. Evan Massoud and Zach Souza with you on Fred TV. The South D4 round 1 game between Diman and Coyle and Cassidy. You know, we talked about maybe seeing if Coach O'Brien would end up resting his starters with a big lead, and he has done that. We see that Leonard is no longer in the game either. So 2, 3, 12, 35, and 44, all off the bench, all in the game right now. Shot clock violation for the Bengals. Can't get any points, and they turn the ball over. So this is Oyigbo Getting it to Pabst. Cunningham loses it. Parker comes away with it 2-on-1, trying to go around Toll, and Parker gets it in on the layup. 14 points now for the Bengals. Pabst, baseline, out to Toll. Toll with the jumper. Piatelli tips it out to Hope DeRoe. Parker gets it back, puts the jumper up. It's off the rim, going to the corner. Out of play. Warriors have it. Had a good look there on the jumper, just wide to the right.
Yeah, just missed on that one. I still would have liked to see her go to the basket, maybe draw the foul, get to the free throw line. That's typically what you see Parker do, just get to the basket, outrun players, but good defense there. So I wouldn't say settled for the jump shot. It was a good shot to take right there.
Toll, oh, that's a travel. Tried to sell it, tried to drag that foot, but our official here on the near side saw it clearly, as did we.
Yeah, I almost thought he wasn't going to call it. That was a little late.
I know. He had to inhale, before, before the whistle. Parker, the jumper is no good. Cunningham. Oyigbo slows up, jumper off the rim. Melendez-Hernandez comes away with it. Finds a lane but loses the ball. Oyigbo around Texera. Basket good. Uh, 61-14. And I have to be honest, I don't think, unless it's super blatant, three from Parker, no good. I just don't see any fouls being called either. I think we're just going to play this out.
Yeah, I think for the most part we'll have a steady 5.5 minutes. Okay. Maybe not.
The officials love to make a liar out of me. And the best part is they don't know what we're talking about. So, it just works that way. Cunningham gets hit with her first foul. Third team foul for the Warriors. It was an offensive foul. Perez for three. Boom. Big rainbow three ball there from Perez. Almost a ceiling scraper. Gotta love those. They look pretty traveling through the air. Travel on the Warriors. Bengals get it back. Parker to Perez. To the corner to Texera. Far side, Melendez-Hernandez wants three. It's long. Parker, nice job getting to the ball for Parker. Texera going for three, and it's off the back of the rim and into the hands of Leonard, who's back in. Parker swatting at it, trying to jar it loose. 4 minutes gone, 4 minutes to play in the fourth. Leonard gets it to Pabst, now out to Kurtzer. Shot clock violation. Good defensive stand there for the Bengals.
I think that was the best defensive sequence we've seen from them. They really stayed on the ball, really played tight defense, forced the shot clock there.
Yeah, that was a good win there on defense. And of course, I mean, they know this. They know the score. I mean, it's obviously in their heads, and you just got to keep plugging along. That's for three. It's no good. You've been on the bad side of some lopsided baseball scores, and I mean, you're sitting behind the dish, and your pitcher's getting lit up. Cunningham for two. I mean, you gotta play 7 innings.
Right.
That's the bottom line, right? So you got to get through it here. You got to play the 4 quarters. No, it's not the game here that anybody hoped from a Fall River fan club, but this is what happens. It's a tournament. You never know what's going to happen. And sometimes it's a one and done. Sometimes you have a Cinderella season. Unfortunately, this year it's going to be an early exit to the tournament for all of our Fall River teams. And that's just, it's just a fact. Because the Durfee girls were one and done. The Diamond boys last night were eliminated in the first round. And right now the Diamond girls down by 48.
Yep. Much like the girls' Durfee game, though, a game like this is going to be a lot easier to get over than if it was a heartbreaker. So that's, if you're going to take away any real big positives, that might be one of the biggest ones. This will just fly over much easier.
I mean, like for you guys with the Wellesley game last year, I know you're still not over that one. And I think that many will say that Durfee got the short end of the stick on that one. There were some questionable calls at home plate. But again, it's one of those where you got to play by the call on the field, and that's the bottom line.
Right. And you're right. I'm still not over that. But if it would have been a 8-2 game, it probably would have been a lot easier.
Those calls wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, exactly. So it would have been like, all right, well, we lost.
Every call matters, but it's all right. It's like a no-hitter that gets broken up on a little bouncing infield hit that nobody can make a play on.
Right.
At least let it be a ringing double off the green monster.
Right.
And it's a clear hit. And there's no question
they
mark
earned
there.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. 10 players for the Warriors with points, 11 on the roster. So that kind of tells you the story. That's kind of your fat stat of the night. That's pretty remarkable. The only player without a point is Kurtzer. And she's been in for a while. She's taken some threes. They just haven't gone down. Texera tips it, but goes to the hands of Piatelli. She tried for the rebound, was there, just couldn't get a handle on it. And there is Kurtzer. Got it to Leonard. Now to Cunningham. Cunningham loses it. Out of play, and it's going to be Warriors ball.
So a total team effort tonight from Coyle Cassidy. Everybody 10 out of the 11 players scoring tonight. It definitely wasn't just a one-person show, which is always good to see.
Well, one thing it does is it when you have a game like this, that ends up being, kind of a runaway. As a head coach, Coach O'Brien, he's been able to see his non-starters as that was put in by Mendez. He's been able to see his non-starters and what they can do in a live game, for basically a quarter and a half here. So as a coach, that's beneficial. As Kurtzer wants points, she does not get there. A little long. 100 seconds to play here in the South D4 round 1 game. Maya Parker with it. Coyle and Cassidy going to move on to play either Sacred Heart or Old Colony. And Coyle would host. So they're going to stay right here at the Warriors gym for the South D4 quarterfinals. Jumper from Cunningham, and Cunningham off the bench has 12 points. She did not start this game. 60 seconds to play in the Lady Bengals season here. Jumper cannot fall, does not fall. And Kurtzwell, Kurtzer. Kurtzwell is a piano name, it's an instrument name. Kurtzer is Abby Kurtzer. Toll puts it in for 2. Michaela Theard coming in number 3. One of the seniors for Diamond. Going to get some playing time in her last game. Going to finish off the season here. They target her. And she couldn't come away with it. Breaking was Oyigbo. 24 seconds to play. Johnson back in, as is Haynes. So a couple of the starters coming back in now for Coach O'Brien. About a 2-second differential on the shot clock, so the Warriors just going to kind of play it out here. 5 on the shot, 7 on the game. So a shot clock violation. The Bengals will have it with 1.5 to play in the game. It's going to be Melendez-Hernandez to inbound. And they're going to roll it out. And that's going to do it. Tough night for the Bengals here at Coyle and Cassidy, as they lose here in the first round, 69-19, in one of the more lopsided games that we've seen in terms of basketball here in a very long time. And we wish Coyle and Cassidy nothing but the best. I mean, I think we pretty much, we've analyzed as much as we can, Zach, and sometimes it's a matchup thing, and sometimes you just overmatched, and this was one of those instances. Coyle clearly had the upper hand right from the start. The start of I think it was a 9-0 run to start the game, and they never took their foot off the loud pedal, so they win it going away here, 69-19. All right, that does it for winter sports here on Fred TV. This was our last playoff game, so we want to just quickly congratulate all of the winter sports teams on great seasons, and thank the coaches and the athletic departments at Durfee and at Diman for always accommodating us and being there whenever we need something, or to it's always a pleasure doing these games. It's a lot of fun, and it's been a fun winter sports season. So with that said, now there's going to be a couple weeks off. And then spring sports, you know all about that, Zach. Spring sports will be starting, and we'll finally get back outside, hopefully sooner than later. There's no snow on the ground right now, so we'll keep our fingers crossed that we don't have any freak blizzard here like on April 1st, right?
Right. 18 days. Here we come.
Yeah, so spring training at the high school level is just around the corner. So, as always, we thank you for continuing to support Fred TV and tune in for our sports coverage. We will have baseball, softball, and boys volleyball in the spring in a couple weeks. Till then, Evan Massoud and Zach Souza signing off from Coyle and Cassidy.